Hello and welcome to Stampin' by Hannah and to my free workshop for June. This month I thought I would try and focus on some simple card making. I don't know whether I've been successful at that, but I like what I've made, so I thought I would show you. So for this month I thought I would focus on the Butterfly Basics stamp set. I know I've used this quite a lot. It launched in January as part of our spring summer catalogue and it's carried over into our annual, and I'm so pleased because I love this. It is gorgeous and it coordinates with the matching Butterflies Thinlits dies. There are as well some more stamps that also coordinate really well with these, or with the dies in particular, and that is Watercolour Wings and the Bolder Butterflies dies. I haven't yet received mine at the time of filming, but I am planning on a kind of annual catalogue haul video, which will probably go about the same time as this, judging on when my delivery's due. So I will show you some more then. But for today, I thought we would just look at the Butterfly Basics and the Thinlits dies. So I've got 2 cards and a tag for you this month. A nice simple card, something with a fancy fold, and a tag with some layered stamping. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up or not. It is actually picking up quite well, which is beautiful. So we will start with our simple card first. So for this card I have used a piece of Whisper White and a piece of Delightful Dijon. So this is a piece of A4 cardstock cut in half crossways, and I'm going to fold it in half to form my card base. And then I have a piece of Whisper White that is cut to 1/2 centimetre narrower and smaller and shorter than that card base. I'm going to stamp in Tip Top Taupe, and I have my flower already mounted on my block, and I'm going to stamp off once and I'm going to stamp it straight down onto that Whisper White. While I've got my Tip Top Taupe out, I've also got the Sending Wishes Your Way sentiment that I'm going to also stamp down here. And I'm going to put my Tip Top Taupe away and get my Delightful Dijon. And I've got the butterfly, and I'm just going to stamp that up in that corner. And the reason I've done the rest of my stamping before I've coloured the image is just so that that ink can be drying. To colour this image, because as you can see, that's sort of the naked version of that. I've got my Watermelon Wonder and Cucumber Crush and my blender pens. I love my blender pens, and I try to keep a tip for each colour family. So I've got a red tip, green, blues and purples, and brown. So just so that things don't get muddy, because the ends do stain. So to colour with your blender pens, we're going to open up our ink pad, but not all the way, just so it's clipped kind of back, and we're going to push the top and the bottom together like that, and that will give us some ink on our lid, and we're going to use that as a kind of paint palette. So if you can hear squeaking outside, I've got the window open, it's really warm today. My blender pen straight down into that ink, and then we're going to colour. And the thing with blender pens is that you need to colour the darkest bit first, and then as the colour fades away, you get blending. I love this technique. I recently I think it's already been on the blog actually, did a card, blender pens on vellum. And when you use blender pens on vellum, you'll find that the colour goes even further because the vellum doesn't allow it to dry quite so quickly. So that's that, and then really, really dark in the centre. And you can see where the dark bits are on these flowers because of the way that the stamp has been produced. There are shade lines on the stamp, so you can see exactly where the darker areas are. So where you've got some cross hatching, that's where you need to put your darkest colours. So just going to finish with the watermelon and just scribble off onto a piece of scrap paper, and then I'm going to take my cucumber crush and my blender pen that I've got for green, pop some more ink in the middle of my cucumber crush ink pad, and exactly the same. So we're going to start with the darker areas, and you will see that it will get lighter as you colour. That was supposed to be watermelon, but that's okay. And it doesn't really matter how scratchy your colouring is or what your style of colouring in is either, because the blender pen moves that ink around. You've got that bit of time to kind of play with it. You may find if you put too much ink on that it does bubble. And I do find that every now and again that I've actually kind of bubbled the paper, but I don't mind that. That's part of the handmade, hand coloured effect. I want somebody to be able to sit there and say, oh, that's nice, Hannah's made that by hand. I am so sorry for the noise outside. As always, I start filming and somebody with a really loud car starts driving up and down the street. Usually I have the window shut, but I just can't today, it's just so warm. So that is my first card. Coloured that quickly, isn't that fab? We are 8 minutes in and I have hand coloured an image and made a card already. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it, absolutely love it. So well, let's do the tag next, shall we? So for this, I've got a piece of mint macaron that measures 5 inches by 2 inches. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mint macaron ink, and I've got loads of the stamps already mounted up onto my blocks. Yeah, that's it. And so I'm going to stamp with this piece first, and we're just going to layer them up together. And there's no right and wrong way of doing this. Just play. I think as adults we get scared that playing's for children. Well, it's not. It really isn't. My only top tip really with this kind of thing is that remember that odd numbers are, the eye likes odd numbers. So if you're do 4 of something, do 5. Or if you've done 2 of something, do 3. And I also don't particularly mind. I've managed to stamp a little bit of a Stampin' accident, but that's okay because it's a grungy looking tag. So I've also got my scallop tag topper bunch, and this cuts a scallop tag in a 2-inch piece of cardstock, which which is nice and handy. I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. And I've also got the Project Life corner rounder. And just to round those corners off at the bottom. And then just to finish the tag, because it's very nice like that, I'm going to just sponge the edges with the mint macaron. And then add my birthday sentiment. And I think this would look lovely with our new dotted lace ribbon in mint macaron, or tip top taupe would look lovely. And just to get that really grungy look, I'm holding, normally when I'm sponging, I hold the cardstock quite close to the edge. I'm going to hold it a bit further back so that I get more of that sponged effect onto my tag to get it really inky. And then to finish it off, I'm going to get Tip Top Taupe back out again. And I've got the happy birthday. And I'm just going to stamp that on there. And that is our really grungy tag. Isn't that fabulous? Aren't they lovely? And as you can see, that one's dried a little bit, so you can see how kind of wet that one is. I'm sure you can see a difference there. And as it dries, it goes much more mellow and lovely. So while I've got you, before we go on and make this fabulous creation, I just want to mention about our current Stampin' Up! Joining offer, which is fantastic this month. If you join Stampin' Up! And my team in June, for £99 you'll receive £130 worth of things from the catalogue that you get to choose. I will be sending you a fabulous goodie bag full of all kinds of exciting things, and you will also be able to join my I've got a private Facebook group, downline blog, and you will be joining a fabulous team. My wider team are absolutely amazing. Love them all to bits. But as well as all of that, you get that if you join in any month. But if you join in June, Stampin' Up! Will also send you 2 stamp sets out of the new catalogue completely for free. And you just need to choose exactly which ones they are. There are so many fabulous stamp sets in this catalogue. I will probably, in the blog post that goes along with this, I will put some of my suggestions for you, but the choice is fantastic. So, join my team in June and get some fabulous free things, as well as getting £130 worth of fabulous products for £99. That's a bargain in itself, isn't it? Also, there is a hostess kit associated with this class, as always, and I would really love it if you shopped with me and use the hostess code that I will put in the blog post that's linked to the down bar below. And if you shop with me using that hostess code, I will send you all the card making products, or all the card kit to make these wonderful cards. All you will need to buy is the inks and the stamps, but I will send you all of the cards and maybe some extra bits. So, shall we make this fabulous corner fold card? I have to admit, this card took me a little while to work out. It shouldn't have done, but it did. I was inspired by Dawn Griffiths at dawnstampinthoughts.net. I love her. She makes some fabulous projects, and her YouTube channel is amazing. And I thought, because Dawn works in 8.5 by 11 because she's in the States, and I work in A4 because I'm in the UK, and the measurements are a little bit different. So I thought I would show you exactly how I made this. I made a bit of a mess. I think I used 8 card bases to get this one card. So for this card, I have a piece of Tip Top Taupe that is an A4 sheet cut in half. I also have a piece of Watermelon Wonder that is 10 centimetres by 14.2, and a piece of Whisper White that is 9.5 by 13.8. And then I have a square of Watermelon Wonder that's 5.5 by 5.5 centimetres, and a piece of Whisper White that is 5 by 5 centimetres. I'm sorry I haven't got the metric measurements, the imperial measurements for this, because I've worked it all out in metric. So first of all, we're going to take our piece of Tip Top Tape and fold it in half to make our card front, make our card base. And then we're going to take our Stampin trimmer, and we're going to use we're going to pop the pale grey blade away, and we're going to use the dark grey blade today. And we're going to insert our piece of Tip Top Taupe on the long side at 13 centimetres, actually 13 centimetres. And on our Stampin' Trimmer, you've got measurements across here, but you've also got measurements on this piece here. And we're going to run this blade up to 2 centimetres, and you can see we've got a little kind of sticky out bit that's going to mark where our 2 centimetres is. And we're going to cut from 2 centimetres down to 8 centimetres. So now we've got a slit in our card front, and we're going to turn our card around and insert it at 8 centimetres, and we're going to cut again from 2 down to 8, and that gives us a kind of corner cut out in the middle of our card. Lay our card back down on our grid paper. We're going to, this corner is going to fold down here, so we need to push this piece through and fold it over like that. And we're going to do our, just with our bone fold, we'll get it really nice and creased. Isn't that fantastic? I absolutely, because I have got to say, I always just thought, oh, I'll just fold the corner of the card down and I'll just stick a piece of extra piece on. And then I thought, no, well, that's a waste, isn't it? You're not wasting anything here. It is fantastic. So we're going to bring in our 2 pieces of Whisper White. And let me just, because I've just used that flower and it's still got Tip Top Taupe on it. So I'm going to use Melon Mambo? No, Watermelon Wonder. Brain's gone dead today completely. I'm going to stamp just the flowers, just the top flowers, straight onto that square. And then our Happy Birthday with the Watermelon Wonder again. And we're going to go in the middle of this large piece for the inside. So from there we've then got our 2 pieces of Watermelon Wonder, and we're going to put these mat and lay our pieces together. So bit of snail on the back of the white pieces, straight into the middle of our watermelon. Just like that. And then, so this piece here is going on the inside, so we're going to pop some more snail on the back of the Watermelon Wonder and pop that onto the inside of there. And then I've got 4 Stampin' Dimensionals for this panel here. just to go there. Okay, and then just to finish, I've cut out a tip-top taupe butterfly with our butterfly Thinlits dies and the solid butterfly in gold glimmer paper, and I'm just going to pop that onto the card with a glue dot in that top corner. And I've used my bone folder to create some movement in the wings of the butterfly, just by rolling the butterfly through my bone folder, just like that, just to give me some lift. So that is my fabulous fancy fold corner fold card, along with our grungy tags and simple blended card. Thank you very much for watching this workshop for June. Don't forget to shop using that fabulous hostess code to get a card kit to allow you to make these cards and tags, and I will see you again next time. Go over and like my Facebook page and give me a great big thumbs up, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye for now.